Hello, welcome everyone. Nice to meet you all. Can you all see me okay? I've had some terrible Zoom problems this morning. Excellent. Excellent. Very, very good to see you. Welcome. Happy Friday. Thank you for choosing to spend your Friday with me. I am super excited. Our quick Why am I excited? The reason I'm excited is because our cohort started. We had our welcome session last Saturday. Tomorrow is our first learning session. Today, we'll talk about this at the end, but top of mind, today at midnight PST, enrollment will close. So just letting you all know, if you were sitting on the fence, do reach out to my team and have them give you all the details that you need to join. But other than that, very exciting stuff that we have that we want to talk today is for those of you that are new, we have been running a series on how to become the go-to AI person in your team. We've talked about building your own AI agents, then we talked about building your portfolio and why positioning yourself as the leader in the space of AI matters just as much as actually knowing how to build. So why getting visibility to the work that you've done is just as important as the actual knowing how to do the work. Today, we are talking about how to actually create a pitch. So you've made your portfolio, you made your agents, you've made your portfolio. Now, how do you present all of that learning to your senior leadership such that two things happen. One is they know what you know. They know that you are skilled in making agents and that you've built agents that will save time, whatever that ROI is. Um, so that will help position. Oh, there is a reflection on my camera lens. Okay. Uh, all right, let's do this. 1 second. Thank you, guys. Sorry, I didn't realize that you can't see me. Okay, hold on. How's that? Better? All right. Okay, excellent. Thank you. That's kind of the plan for what we want to talk about today. And to that effect, I'm gonna start sharing my screen in a little bit. Thank you. Wiping sauce off your face is funny. Thank you. All right, let me just move this lens. Little bit seems chaotic today because I've been trying to get my Zoom working for the last 15 minutes. Usually I join 15, 20 minutes before and I'm ready and prep, but all right, I think but we're fine. So you all know what we are talking about today. Um, Things are ready. Let me quickly introduce myself for those of you that don't know who I am. My name is Kayuri Anand. Currently, I work as Director of AI Products at Applied Systems. I have a bunch of experience building machine learning and AI products over the last 15 years, primarily for insurance industry, also some legal work. I do sit on a couple of boards that make standards for product development and so forth. All of this to say that I know how to build AI agents. So I'm happy to share that with you. Uh, More importantly, like many of you, I started my career as a non-technical person, and everything that I know about upskilling in AI and building AI agents has been a grueling self-taught journey. And that's kind of why I decided to do these sessions to help help share that knowledge with a lot of you. A lot of the content, even lessons on Maven that are available, are highly focused on technical folks. It assumes some level of technical know-how as it relates to agentic and generative AI products. So I wanted to build something that is more catered to folks who are starting from 0 to 1, much like when I did. So you don't have to read the papers and learn it the hard way that I did. And I can kind of tailor the knowledge, filter the signal from the noise, and serve it up to you like on a platter. So these can be bite-sized lessons, and you can have some tangible takeaways. So quick housekeeping, if you can keep your cameras on, it helps me feel connected. It helps me like I'm talking to real humans, not just my computer screen. Thank you so very much. Emojis, reactions. If you like something that I said, if something made sense, lots of emojis and reactions would be very much appreciated. If you have questions, raise your hand and we can ask them. Thank you. Let's talk about what we are learning today. So we want to leave with three things. So first thing is why agents stall at one user. So this is more for if some of you have learned how to build one agent, like if we talked about building one agent, but it's just built for you and you haven't actually been able to get other people to use it. Maybe you have maybe you have shared it with your team members, but you haven't really gotten much traction on it. So why that happens, a little bit conversation about that. Then we're going to talk about the pitch framework. So pitch framework is essentially how to present what you have built to your senior leadership so that it lands and it positions you as the go-to AI person in your team. And then the next one is how to actually build a real pitch. So these are some of the things that we are going to be working on today. Let's quickly get started. I wanted to do a blackboard, but I think that's what freezes. Every time I connect my whiteboard, Zoom is freezing out. So I'm not gonna try to do that right now, but I'll see if I can land the lessons, hopefully in a different way today. So here are a few questions. The main one is before I show you, basically the main mental model we are focused on today is if something works, like if your agent works, it delivers ROI to you, but you're not seeing adoption or traction on it. One of the main reasons could be that it's a positioning problem. It's not positioned for success. So let's look at why that happens and how to actually talk through the ROI of these things. I'm trying to see if there is a way that Zoom will let me. Okay. Let's just use this screen to do what we want to do. This could probably work. Okay. So before I show you what we build, let's talk about why we built it. So in first session, in our first one in the series, we built an AI agent. Now, as you're preparing the pitch, you're going back to the first day, like why you build something. So every agent that you build from here on out should pass this one test before you write a single instruction. So hopefully, if you build the first one, you will have this information available to you. So let's see if we can draw here. Yeah. So here's a simple formula. Okay, here's a simple formula. The formula is time saved per task. So time, okay. Multiply that with frequency. So how frequently you do that task, and then multiply that with number of people who are using this, right? So, and then you take minus the cost of building that. Then that gives you your net ROI. So let's take an example of our first task that we built, right? So we built a meeting follow-up agent in our first lightning lesson in this series. By the way, if you are new and you're just joining today and you didn't join the last 2 weeks, when the slides come out, on the first page, there is a link where you can find all recordings. So feel free to check them out. If you need help or any handouts, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay. So we built a meeting follow-up agent for this purpose. We wanted to essentially what this agent does is it saves time in me following up on meetings. And let's say typically when I do that manually, it was taking me 30 minutes because every meeting I'm looking at the transcripts, I'm trying to figure out what the takeaways were, and then I'm creating emails or actual tasks, follow up meeting requests. All of that was roughly taking me 30 minutes. And then um, now it was taking me 30 minutes to do it manually. With my agent, it takes me 5 minutes to do this. So let's say my time saving is 25 minutes in doing so. Then the frequency, let's roughly say I have three such meetings a week. Typically, we have at least 10, I would say, but let's say you have three meetings. So you're going to put the three in the frequency here. And then how many people? So for now, it's just me because I'm the only person using this agent. So and then cost of building it is, we built it last time in under 20 minutes. So let's say the cost of building it, the cost of building it is 20 minutes. So now what you're doing is you're saying it's time saved per task is 25 minutes times three meetings. So per meeting, I'm saving 25 minutes. I usually have on an average three meetings, and right now it's just me using it. And so our math is sitting at 75 minus 20 minutes of me building it. And that gives us 55 minutes of time saving or ROI. I'm getting 55 minutes back with this agent. Now, if you scale this to another, say, four people, that's your ROI. So if you have four people in your team, you do the math, and now you're calculating how many hours you're saving. And that's the ROI that we want to present to our leadership. So keep that number in mind. Now, next, so the ROI equation is going to tell you how much minutes or hours you are saving for um, each agent that you have built, right? So with hours, roughly 3.5 hours is what we are saving for our team every week. Now, next thing we want to do is this ROI metrics for sure confirms that building this agent was the right one. But now, if you had ideas for multiple different agents, this next framework or metrics is going to tell you which thing is the right one to automate, because you always have more automation ideas than the actual time. Like now, right now, when I'm explaining this, I bet you some of you have ideas on how many other things, how many other agents you can build that will help you automate your day. So let's talk about in another framework that helps us when you have several ideas, which one to start with. So now here we are looking at this is effort, E for effort, and down this here is low effort, this is high effort. And then the next one, the left axis, is the impact. So on this one here is impact. So let's write impact. And so now you have this quadrant, which is, hold on. I think I'm doing this wrong. 1 second. So effort is low to high. So this is actually the effort. So this is low and this is high. Okay. And then this one is impact. And here we are low impact, we are high impact. Okay, so this quadrant now, the top left corner, is the one with low effort and high impact. So this one is whatever falls here is what you build now. And anything that falls here, which is high impact, but high effort also, you can plan for it, but not build it right away. And then you kind of go down like that in these quadrants. So the key that we are, so on the bottom right here, right, where the impact is low and effort is high, you do not build. This one, we're not going to build. And then anything here that is low impact and low effort, it's a quick win. So you might actually build it next in that order. So basically anything that is low effort, like 20 minutes to build, but look at the cost saving it's giving me, time saving it's giving me, saving me almost an hour and a half every week. I'm going to definitely spend that 20 minutes in building it, because the ROI of spending 20 minutes and save once and saving 75 minutes over and over week after week, and it just compounds. If I have more meetings, the time saving compounds. That's the right one to build. Okay. Now, as we think about building these agents, there are nuances, right? Like in this case, what we built was a simple use case that we built was meeting follow-up agent. So this agent, essentially all it does is it takes my meeting transcripts and creates a to-do list and does a follow-up. I might want to build I might want to build a more elaborate meeting follow-up agent where I want it to do more than just do a follow-up. So I might want it, I might say, okay, draft emails, actually schedule calendar invites, send reminders, help me prepare for the same meeting. If it's a recurring meeting next week, remind me what we talked about this week and so forth. Like you can keep elaborating on these. But the nuance here is once you know that it's worth building and you've picked the right thing, how do you actually build it just enough so you can debug it and see the ROI before getting into a mess that is very hard to figure out. So here we have like first you crawl, then you walk, then you run. So that's why the meeting follow-up agent was designed to be very simple. It just does one thing. It's one agent, it does one thing, and it has one user, just you. Once that thing is proven out and you have solid ROI, then you go to the walk space where you build two agents that talk to each other. Again, keep it with you first, calculate the ROI, and then you say, okay, now let's go to the next one. Now let's span it to like maybe 3 people in my team, see how that works. If it scales, gather feedback from the other people on your team, improve the agent a couple of times a week. And then the third one is now you can build a fully multi-agentic system that is going to run org-wide. Okay, so far, so good. Any questions? Okay, I'm assuming I'm taking that as a no. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So then we did 3 things. We calculated the ROI on our agent. We decided how to figure out which agents are the right ones to build versus not, how to pick the ones that you want to build and in what order. And then the third one is when you decide to build, how to build them small and then how to expand them. And that goes for the size of the agent, the ability of the agent, as well as the number of people. So now here are I put what I wanted to share on the whiteboard here on the slide. So you are welcome to refer. I know somebody was asking in the chat, you will get these slides at the end. So all of these, my messy drawings will be in a nice clean slide format for you to look at after. All right, so then let's look at how do we actually go ahead and pitch. Before I show you the pitch framework though, I do wanna talk to you about why it is important to write these pitches, right? So I mentioned a little bit about this in the last session when I was talking about building um, building our AI portfolio, right? And the idea is you can build all the agents you want. You can super lean into making them fancy, technically very solid, and all of that is great. But if you want it to result in either career progression or promotions or just a reputation of you being a subject matter expert as it relates to be knowing and building AI at your workplace, you have to talk about them. If you find talking about your work not good, I say get comfortable in public speaking about your work. And that's why I built the portfolio. Like I helped build the portfolio in the last session because that's an easier way to then show what you've done by way of your website, by way of your portfolio, rather than bragging about it. So if bragging or talking about your own work feels uncomfortable to you, these are some other ways where you are talking about facts rather than subjective praise for yourself, and it's hopefully a little bit easier. So that's why we want to build a pitch. So at the end of this, what you will get is once we go through this framework, I'll give you prompts that you can use and replace your own numbers, the math that I gave, the formula, the ROI formula. You can use the same math, put it in this pitch framework, and you will end up with a one pager pitch that you can then start to talk about more broadly. So if you want your team to adopt it, you can talk to that about your leadership. If your team has already adopted, you can bring it to more senior leadership, S team, or even C team, because you know how to actually calculate tangible bottom line impact of the work that you have done. And having, so one other thing I want to say why this is important, because I work in product, I work with tech people all day, super smart, technically savvy people who know how to build extremely complex systems. Where most people I find lose attention from senior leadership is when you can't tie all of your fancy tech to tangible dollars earned or time saved. And that is true not just for your own internal agents, like your own personal AI workforce, but that is also true if you're building software for other people to use. Like if I build software for insurance agents, and insurance agents sit in an office selling insurance, servicing insurance policy. When I'm talking to them, I'm not telling them, oh, I'm using Claude or I'm using Fable as the model or I'm using ChatGPT. They don't care. What they want to know is, how is this going to save me time? Is this going to save me money? Is this going to open door for larger revenue? Is this going to help me bring in more business? What is the actual tangible ROI? So calculating ROI, it's a very simple formula, but it is extremely impactful when you pair it with the work. So if the agent works, you will have decent ROI. So if you've done the actual thought process beforehand to know if the agent, to build the right agent, then build it properly, then measure the outcome, and then talk about it, it is, that whole chain is very, very impactful. So that's kind of my pitch for you to build your own pitch framework. Hopefully that has convinced you to write your one pager for the agent that you've built. And you can start out small and safely. So if you don't want to just go and send it to your leadership, send it to me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to review them and provide feedback on what makes for a good pitch. So feel free to do that. My team can drop my LinkedIn here in the chat, so you can reach out to me there. All right, let's get actually into the pitch framework. So the pitch framework needs to have the problem. What was the actual problem that your agent is solving? So was it costing time? Was it costing quality? Is your agent reducing friction? Anything that the agent is doing has to be tangibly converted into a cost, time cost or dollar value cost, or people headcount cost, whatever that looks like. Some of you might have built an agent that is, somebody built a customer retention agent. And they were asking me, how do I add a cost? Very easy. Calculate how much that customer was generating in revenue for your company month over month, and multiply that. That's the best way to actually put a dollar value on that. Once you have the problem identified, talk about what you built. So explain it very simply. I just call it my meeting summarization agent. One jargon, no need to say it's leveraging AI. If you really want to say it, you can say it, but the fact that it's an agent already, um, it's already what you build, like, yeah, like the fact that you call it an agent is already telling you that it's an AI agent. So just problem, what is the solution? And then we talk about the proof. And the proof, instead of just saying it's saving me 25 minutes, or it's saving me 75 minutes, always compare it with the before, because then it's a relative improvement and it's much more impactful. I also, and you can totally use these in your resume, in your interview stories also. One thing I will caution you, and this is top of mind for me because I'm interviewing people right now for product manager roles. And where I dig deeper is if I see just percentages without actual concrete numbers. So if somebody says, I improved adoption I improved adoption by 30%, then I'm going to ask, like, okay, what was it before? Like, tell me actual numbers. Did you go from one user to three users? Or did you go from, like, you know, 100 users to 130 users? Like, what was the concrete numbers? Because that then puts the ROI in perspective. So to not sound fake and to sound legit and genuine, use the before and after. That's where you actually earn the credibility, because this whole thing is all about building credibility and positioning yourself as the go-to person. Then the last thing is the ask. So always go with the ask. So uh, and the ask should not be, can I be the go-to person in the team for AI, but a more concrete ask of how this will help the company, the team, the org. So usually the ask is, I when you're building something yourself by yourself, and if you're not tech savvy, you might have just built the walk version of it or the crawl version of it, and now you could have the ask that, can we actually allocate somebody more technical to elaborately build this? Or the ask could be even simpler, that I built this meeting summary agent, it works perfectly for me, I would love to show it off to the 150 people at the next all hands. Could I do that? And I would love to have those 150 people start using this agent so that we can save 150x of time as a company, um, compared to just me saving it. And that's all you need to do. That already positions you as one of the go-to people in the org, and you keep doing it few different times with few different actual needle mover agents, and you will be there. The hardest part of all of this, though, and I'm telling you this from experience, the hardest part is not building, it's not calculating the ROI, but it's actually choosing to show up and say this out loud. A lot of us do fantastic work, but the fact that we don't talk about it makes it so that the doors that our work should have opened for us don't actually open, because we didn't actually talk about it. So again, happy to look at the pitch and provide feedback. If you're nervous or if anything's holding you back, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, so then here, one second. All right. So this I'm just walking through in these slides the actual framework. In the portfolio. So last session we built a portfolio. this one page pitch can also go in your portfolio. So you can, now that you've built the pitch, you can go back and add it to the portfolio. You can share the portfolio with a clickable link with your leadership for the pitch itself. So in the handouts, let me actually open the handout here for you guys, and then we'll talk about. Second. Okay. So all right. So in the handout, you will see a template when this handout actually decides to open. Second. Okay. It's still doing its thing, but we'll come back to this in a second. All right, we'll come back to this in a second. Let it just run in the background for a minute, and I will explain it in a second. So can you guys see me? I feel like everything's freezing up. I don't know what's going on with Zoom today. All right, in the handout, I have a template that you can use, and I'll show it to you in a second when this thing works. Okay, here, actually it opened. So let's just walk through that because this is a little bit more useful thing. So this handout will be part of the deck as well. And essentially what it is here are all the formulas. So you'll have this, make sure you calculate this numbers for your pitch. Here's how to do the pitch. But the key thing is I wanted to show you how I wrote the pitch and what it looks like filled in. So for the meeting agent. So the problem, every meeting on the team costs 45 minutes of manual follow-up, recaps, action item and drafts, quality is inconsistent across the team. And you can use the same kind of level of insight to build your own. Then we say meeting follow-up agent that classifies the meeting type and drafts the recap, action table, and follow-up message automatically. You notice that it's not talking at all about AI or it just tells you what the agent is actually doing. Not talking about whether you built it using Claude, what did you do? And the reason is when you're pitching, you're very focused on senior leadership's attention to the key focus points. Then if they have questions, they can ask you and you will be able to explain and answer. You can talk about the proof, how much was the actual time saving. You can do the math and tell how it's going to actually save time for the rest of the team. And then look at the ask. So I put the ask here as 2 hours to walk the team through the agent and approval to make it the default process for meeting follow-ups. Once you have this, now you're standing in front of however large the team is, showing your agent, already positioning yourself as the go-to person because you build something that is working well and everybody else is adopting. Almost like you set the standard that people are going to adopt. Now that already positions you as the go-to person. So if you want to do this, I have given you a template here. You are welcome to use that and fill it out. Do the ROI calculation first and then fill out this template and welcome, like I said, send it to me on LinkedIn. Here are some, I mentioned don't use vague stuff, don't use technical jargon to explain stuff. Focus on the problem and the outcome and the proof of how the outcome is valuable. That's it. So here are some of the few kind of what not to say and what to say instead. The reason I put these here is because if you say I've been testing it for a few weeks, a lot of these language we tend to use because we are playing safe. And I want you to actually, if you've tested it, I want you to lean into it and say it's been reliable, it's been in production for 3 weeks. Just using the right verbiage of that reflects your own confidence in the agent will get you that buy-in easier, and it'll help you position as a leader in this space much faster because you've done the work and you're trying to open the door. That's kind of the idea. Okay, so I've also seen bad pitches. So I tried to summarize the bad pitches in this handout for you. Uh, Please don't lead with the tool. It kind of takes the whole focus from your effort to the tool. Lead with the problem always. Even in interviews, if you're writing interview stories, if you're writing resume bullet points, always lead with the problem. Um, Make the ask confidently. This is what it does. This is what I want. Can I have this? Those type of language rather than what do you think? Shall we do it? Because then you are allowing the other person, your leader, to now make a choice. When you make the choice easy of yes, it's a yes, um, make it super easy for them to say yes, is what I'm saying. Then do not pitch more than what it does already. So if you made the walk version, just say, I've built the walk version, it works perfectly. I've done the math on what it takes to build the run version, and I'm seeking investment. That's fine. But don't claim that it does something if it doesn't already, because then it will really fast lose credibility. Skip the math, don't do this. Always, always, always. Um, Instead of saying it saves me a lot of hours, when you say it saves me 4 hours every week, that's a lot more compelling, tangible, and solid than saying a lot of hours. And good leaders will always pick up on that. Your vagueness will always be rewarded with more questions. So make it easy for them. Give them all the facts that they need to make the decision to say yes to your ask. Too much technical detail, again, it doesn't matter unless you were working in a technical role and you really wanted to show your technical chops. If that was the goal, then it matters. Here, if the goal is for you to be positioned as the go-to AI person who knows how to build agents and you want to spread that across adoption across your team, you don't really need, not at this level anyway. When you go in front of the team, when you're walking them through the agent, then you bring in, you can open the hood and show them what you did, how you did it. Pitching once and dropping it is gonna lose, yeah, you're gonna lose momentum. So definitely follow up. If you said you'll do something, do it. Um, those are just basics, but still worthy of calling out, because a lot of the times people focus all the effort on doing the work and not enough effort in using the work to open doors. All right. So this handout will be with you. I I really like to challenge you to run the ROI equation and write that pitch for yourself, and at least send it to me. If you don't want to send it to anyone else, just send it to me. Use this as a forcing function to actually go beyond just the lessons that um, spending 45 minutes watching me talk and listening me talk is not going to give you as much learning as actually spending maybe half an hour but doing this, taking action on these. So I can't make it any easier than this. I've given you the template, I've given you the formula. Please actually build this stuff, and I will actually wait for you to wait for some of you to send it to me on LinkedIn. I really, really want you to build this pitch. I have a couple of questions here, so let me answer those before I go into the next part. So anyone ever got pushback from management that using AI is not keeping their data secure? How does your organization handle data security concerns? Ours is healthcare data, so there is extra layers of security requirements. Okay, so there are a couple of things where organizations leadership freak out is if you are taking your organizational data and putting it in a personal instance of ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini. Many organizations now, though, already provide you an AI agent. So if you're a Microsoft shop, you will already have a copilot. And those AI agents are sitting within the, if it's company provided, if you're using your enterprise username to log in, they're sitting inside the firewall, and so they are vetted by your security team for you. So whatever's allowed by your company is safe to use, and you are welcome to actually build agents on those as well using this. If your leaders doesn't know, or if they worry that this is causing data security concerns, one way I would, then I think that would be a question of you um, informing them, educating them that this is fine because it's inside our firewalls. And you can get that extra validation by talking to your security team or your IT team as well to say, hey, I built this agent using Microsoft Copilot. Um, is there anything that I've done here that is not allowed? Because typically what companies do, if you're using company provided Claude, ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot license, they will already block you from taking action that they don't want you to take. So there is an safety layer. They're providing you guardrail already. Of course, do not take your company data by way of screenshot, downloading it and uploading it in your personal Claude or personal, any of your personal AI instance. Uh, yeah, so that's kind of one thing. And then, alrighty, thank you. Let's go back. Let me start sharing my screen here again. So I can basically summarize what I where we can pick it up. So 4 parts. So here's what we have done so far. We did ROI calculation. We did figuring out the impact and effort assessment to know which is the right one to build, and also the level at which you should start building, the complexity at which you should start building, how to convert all of those into an actual pitch, why pitching is important. Pitch something real. I've given you all the feedback. I've given you all the handouts and everything that you really need to do. So make sure you pitch it. And that brings me to this. So, in order to build AI agents, your own personal workforce that you can train to your own personal domain. Speaking of which, if you can please put in the chat what domain you are from, I would love to get that insight. So, marketing, legal, whatever domain you're from, please put it in the chat. In the course, what we do is we have people who've signed up from variety of different domains. So we walk you through building your own AI workforce, your own analyst agent for whatever type of data analysis you have to do, your own drafting agent for whatever type of writing needs that you have, report writing, emails, and make it sound like you consistently. And the way we do that is by using a lot of Claude features like projects, skills, agents, multi-agents, and the key here is learning all of the things that you can do with AI. So you can start using some of these tools that you have access to beyond just asking it questions. Like use it more than what you use when you use it like Google search. So that's kind of the idea. In 4 weeks, super tailored to your own domain, to your own role, to whatever your day-to-day jobs are, automated. And then we build it all together, personalized, tailored. We create a portfolio. We create your ROI calculation for each of the agent. We create your pitch, and then you actually come and show it. You come and pitch it. So starting tomorrow is our first actual learning session. The pitch day is August 29th. So between now and August 29th, you kind of go from zero to hero in 4 weeks. And we do all of these things. So you end up with your own predefined skills that do your day-to-day jobs, your own personal AI workforce. So I wanted to welcome you if this is something that has been on your radar and you want to learn how to build AI agents, you want to build them tailored to your own daily jobs so you can start automating some of your workflows, start saving time, and most importantly, start sharing it outwardsly so you can build your own reputation as the go-to AI person. Then I think I've structured it so it's all signal and no noise. It'll be very, very focused in getting you there in 4 weeks. And you'll only build and learn skills to actually adopt the vocabulary. So this field moves so fast that once you have the kind of language and alphabet and words in how some of this stuff works, your future learning becomes easy. Speaking of future learning, because this field moves so fast, we iterate every cohort. So next cohort is going to be in November. Anyone who joins this cohort will learn, and you'll also get a free entry in the November cohort because we're going to update the curriculum depending on what new stuff comes out between now and then. So you'll be able to join both this one and the next one. And then I think what else did my team want me to tell you? Yes, today, if you have been sitting on the fence, make sure you sign up. Today is the last date. We'll close midnight PST today, and then after that, the prices will go up because then we'll be enrolling for the next cohort. So that was all of my information for you to say if you want to join the cohort, this is your last chance. Other than that, if you want to keep learning, free resources, my LinkedIn, reach out to me if you build your pitch, send it to me. I do Substack. There is some YouTube content that I've started posting free learning videos as well. So do check it out. That was all the content I wanted to walk you through today. Next week, we are not meeting on Friday. So because the cohort is underway, so we'll be focusing on that, but we'll see you in 2 weeks for these few sessions. So if you have any questions, I can answer them. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I love that you joined, spend some time with me on Friday. I hope you have a great Friday
Oh,
and
I have a question about
yeah,
the
please.
agent.
Mhm.
Um, how are you building the agent? Are you using like Claude or is it what
Yes.
framework?
We built the agent on Claude, and I can share the actual link. So this is a three-part series. We built the agent, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. But we use because I fully focus on non-technical folks. Anything I do is all mostly done on Claude. Not to say that that's the only way to build agents, but it's probably the easiest way for non-technical folks to build agents.
So is this like a self-learning? You have to go learn to use Claude to
No,
build the
so
agent?
the course that I am talking about is not self-learning. So that is a live course. These are this session that you are attending right now is a free session. These are 45 minutes. So we do bite-sized lessons and learning. Today we learned about how to pitch. In the cohort, the course is actually 2 hours live session. So all the actual paying students come in a live Zoom session for 2 hours. We start that tomorrow morning. And in those 2 hours, the way we work is there is a mindset section. Then I talk about a technical concept and try to explain that technical concept in as simple manner as possible. Then we get to building. And so that's when I open my Claude and I ask you to open your Claude on your computer and we build together. And at the end of those 2 hours, you've built something. We also give you step-by-step guide. So if you didn't want to build with me, you just wanted to watch me build and you want to do it in your own time, or maybe you are on a mobile and you were not at a computer for whatever reason, then you get a step-by-step guide to actually follow along and build that um, in your own time. Then on Tuesday, we meet again for an hour of question and answer. So we don't do any learning there. It's just doubts. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you bring your problems. Or if you were building and you got stuck and you need help, me and my mentor team will be there to help answer any of those questions on Tuesday. And every week we have lessons and things that we build. The next week we build something on top of that. The third week we build something on top of that. So it's incrementally increasing in complexity from week 1 to week 4. And the way it's structured, by the time you get to week 4, you have multi-agents, you have skills that are working together, calling each other and getting entire workflows done. And that's why we call it like your personal AI workforce, because it is exactly that. It will automate your entire workflow for your work that you do.
And then you have to buy your own cloud subscription, or is that provided by the class?
No, so you need a $20 per month subscription of Claude. You don't need the $200 one. Whatever we do, the $20 one is super sufficient because we are very token efficient. So in addition to the class, you will need a $20 subscription for Claude.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So,
Thank you.
Kayuri,
Those were the
I,
questions.
I I just joined now, sorry. But this is mainly using Claude is the intent of the class because I know we can use other, like I have paid subscription for Google. So can I use that instead of Claude, or is this
Yes.
purely a Claude class? You know what
So
I'm
the
saying?
way, yeah. So the intention of the class is not to teach you how to use Claude. The intention is to teach you how to work with AI and build agents.
Mm-hmm.
I do it with Claude, but in the actual lessons, I also provide handouts to say what translates. So all the homework assignments are all going to be based on Claude, but it will come with um, handouts that says, in Claude we call it project, in Google this thing is called notebook, or it's called skills here, this is the
Mm,
language, because a lot of the skills are highly transferable. What you
right.
build in Claude is very much possible to be built in other tools. The reason we use Claude is because Claude is a lot more user friendly for non-technical people.
Yeah, that I understand. But because I've
Mhm.
already paid for Google subscription during
Mhm.
your class, would
Mhm.
you show the, handout or something so that parallelly I can try using Google products as well? Or that's not an option. I have to do
Um,
it afterwards because
Yeah,
offline.
it will be offline and afterwards. During the live session, I primarily build all my lessons on Claude. The step-by-step guides, everything is focused on Claude specifically.
Okay, but you will give us a translation for Google.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's the idea. And yeah,
Mhm. So you are located in US or from some other?
yes. I live in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. Any other questions? All
I
right.
have one from Kathy. I think she must have left, but if she's still here, I would like to ask a question. So she asked that there are a lot of companies who got pushback from management that using AI is not keeping their data secure. How does your organization handle data security concerns?
Yeah,
So ours is, yeah.
that's the one that I was answering earlier, is that if if your organization gave you access to a tool, like if they gave you access to Copilot, your security teams already only enable things that they are comfortable for you, because it's inside their firewalls. If you're using company provided AI tools, you more often than not you are safe to use those. And where you can't, definitely do not copy your data, company data, and put it in your personal AI. But if you're using products that are provided by your company, and you're using your enterprise username password to do it, it's more or less safe. And if you have concerns, or if your leadership has concerns with this, you can vet what you've built with your security team also. But mostly what they give you, if you use it, I think the companies are more leaning towards, we've given you the tools, now we want you to use them. But yeah, that would be the way to go. So if you're concerned, you can check with the security team.
A quick question.
Yes.
How does your course relate to Mahesh? He also has a cohort class that's 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah, different cohorts. There are a lot of other providers on Maven who will teach a course. I believe Mahesh's course is focused on building AI products. So if you're working in product and product management and you want to become an AI product manager, assumes certain level of technical know-how. Where I am coming from is the way it's different is that our cohort is focused on people who are non-technical, don't have any background in AI, don't work in tech in development or product fields, and are not looking to learn how to build AI products to sell, but looking to build AI agents for automating workflows for their internal for themselves, internally, their teams. Essentially, I'm focused on teaching people who are using AI just to chat with, to go from just chatting with it to building your own agents. Um, Other courses may have different offerings and so forth. Yeah.
Do you have courses like AI for leadership? Because I come from leadership background. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Because I've had enough of exposure to AI tools, building all this, but in an AI transformation as a leader, how can I guide my teams, right?
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
have opinions. I don't have a class on it yet, but that's a good thing to share.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, so I'll answer your question. Short answer, no. This course focuses on building your own AI products, and expanding it to your team. Of course, in order to lead the team, there has to be three things, in my opinion: readiness, and then operating model and culture. Readiness focuses primarily on knowing how to use AI. So this course addresses that aspect. For leaders like yourself, you can't lead from the front if you yourself don't know how to build some of these yourself, right? So that's the aspect. Readiness in know-how, readiness in access to tools. The teams have to have access to tool if you want to lead AI transformation. Once everyone has the tools and knows how to use them the right way for the right things, figure out what to build, how to build, where the ROI is, then you focus on operating model. The operating model is, how do you now bring this know-how of building AI workforce, building AI agents, and if somebody's actually built it, how do you bring them in the actual operational processes and transform current processes to now have AI agents and agentic workflows embedded in those processes, right? Like meeting agent, you built
Mm-hmm.
it, one person might have built it. As a leader, they might come to you for approval on making that a standard process for every single meeting for the whole org now. That's
Mm-hmm.
the operating model part. And then the third one is culture. And the culture is probably the most nuanced and hardest one of them all, because every company is different and there are frameworks, but it's very hard to like, you have to know the company from inside. Every company is different. Appetite for risk and innovation is different in every company. Adherence to processes is on a different spectrum for different companies. But that culture transformation comes from a whole bunch of change management um, initiatives, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's how I am leading AI transformation at work, and that's kind of my mental model. But that's not what we teach in this course.
Okay.
This course focuses on the readiness aspect of it.
Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you, Kayur.
Yeah, no problem. Very good questions. Very interesting variety of questions today. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for meeting me today and spending an hour with me. It was fun Friday lunchtime. I will see you in 2 weeks for the free session again. Bye.
Thank you.